So welcome to the Paris Design Meetup. We're really glad that you're here. We're really thankful to Jitter to host us in their amazing office. The talks and the evening will be in English, so sorry for non-English speakers, and for the other ones, good for you. So, bienvenue. It will be the only word in French. My name is Luca Bonomi. Some of you knows me as LukyVj. I'm a developer relation engineer and a senior front-end developer. I've been taking care of the Paris Design Meetup for almost 10 years now, or for 11 years. Please, if you take pictures, videos, and you want to share them online, use this amazing hashtag Paris Design Meetup. That helps us then to get images or videos you might have taken during the evening, and it's always great to show people how amazing the night was. A little backstory about the Paris Design Meetup. So we started in 2015, and it used to be called the Paris Dribble Meetup, but around 2018 we rebranded to Paris Design Meetup because it's way less restrictive and everyone can come. Sometimes we host 2 Paris Design Meetup per year. Sometimes we host 1 every couple of years because it's a lot of work, and which leads us to tonight, the Paris Design Meetup 3rd edition, which is in fact the 7th, but yeah. A few pictures of the past editions. We hosted a lot at Algolia and also at The Family. But Algolia was our main host, and it was always amazing parties. If you can raise hands, if you already came to a Paris Design Meetup just to see amazing. Well, thank you for coming again. And for the people that never came to a Paris Design Meetup, please come to the next ones. It's really cool, and it really helps to gather the design community. And that's what we're here for, to mingle and talk to our peers. The schedule of the evening will be first a talk by Mathieu Boulet, a founding designer at Jitter, then a talk from Célia, which is a designer at Off-Brand, and then a talk from Kim, who is a designer and a creative technologist at Figma Weave. Which leads me to my last slide, which is the sponsors. All these amazing design evenings will not be possible without our amazing sponsors. So starting by Jitter, thank you Jitter, second time sponsor and first time host. It's really amazing, you got an amazing office, and the vibe is super cool. Then we have Mobbin, a tool for designers that a lot of you are using, which are an amazing sponsor, and of course Figma. Thank you for helping us for all the design thing we work on. So now I'm gonna call the sponsor representatives. So starting with Nicolas, which will talk about Mobbin.
So let's talk 2 minutes about Mobbin. Mobbin, I will begin this way. Today, anyone can build solution using AI, but not everyone can build the right solutions. That's basically the same quote I will try to say again. It's trash in, trash out. The context that you put in will influence drastically what you have in the output of your AI workflow. I'm talking about that because that's where Mobbin comes in. It helps us to fuel your thinking process, and it also empower your agent with a selection of product screenshots, so more than 600,000 screenshots from real products that have been created and crafted by real humans for now, maybe AI later, who knows. And the real difference with Mobbin is that compared to, let's say, Dribble, Behance, Pinterest, these kind of galleries that are great for dreaming, because often it's not real use cases, Mobbin is great to have a great input in the AI that come from real context, so we can solve real problems. Mobbin, the new MCP, is basically integrated in any agent workflows, just as here. You can ask the Mobbin MCP simple request like how Revolut handle its paywall, and Mobbin's MCP will fetch every screenshots from the current process of Revolut, and then will provide you with the best-in-class UX and UI patterns from the Revolut product itself. You can already use Mobbin with this URL /MCP. So it's in beta right now. You can discover every use cases. Please give it a try. It's definitely worth it. And I will finish with that. With this tool, you no longer have to try to guess what is the right UX pattern to implement, because you will have as a basis, as a foundation, the context that comes from every real product that have been crafted by top-notch companies in the world. If you have any question, comes to me, and thanks Mobbin for the sponsorship. That's it.
And then if we can welcome Alexia for Figma.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. Hi. Happy to see you here. Happy to see a lot of familiar faces. I just wanted to extend a huge thanks to Lucas. Actually, it's funny, I forgot the exact date, but the relationship with Lucas that we have started in April 2024, which was the previous Paris Design Meetup. And I remember back then, I think I spotted the event probably on socials somewhere, and I saw the lineup, and I was like, oh shit, gotta be there. That sounds really, really interesting. Showed up at the Algolia office. There were about 200 plus attendees. It was really big, really creative folks. And interestingly, a lot of people I didn't know, despite spending a lot of time at community events around that time. And I discovered there's a completely different crowd of really heavy, I mean, back then it was maybe the dribble inheritance effect, but really highly creative people that were gathering to talk about very similar topics we were talking about. And so Lucas is an amazing person. I just want to highlight that. He doesn't have a designer background, and he is so passionate about design. He's always been leading these initiatives pretty much solo on creating those spaces for us designers to meet and talk about stuff. So we're just really, really, really excited to be able to support as sponsors this event when he came to us saying he wanted to make a new one happen. So yeah. And so yeah, like I said, like now we're doing a lot of cool stuff with Lucas. We went to Config together, loads of fun memories, and this is just a sneaky way for me to plug in Config. We have our huge conference that's coming up in 18 working days, which is zero pressure on us. But yeah, it's coming in less than a month. You might have noticed that we are dumping pretty big announcements already. We had a big announcement on AI agents last week. We had a big announcement today, if you haven't seen it yet, on bringing code bases directly into Make and being able to prototype directly in your product and creating PRs as a designer. So that's very exciting. And I do promise you we have more in store. Of course, we're not just announcing stuff and leaving nothing for the day. So it's going to be a big year. And what else? Yeah, Figma Weave. I'm talking right now, but I have my colleague Kim somewhere. Kim, where are you? There. Hi, Kim. We're very, very excited. When we were thinking about this event, I think, Kim, you saw me sharing it on LinkedIn. Yeah. And Kim was like, can I come? So Kim is based in Stockholm. And he got the green light to actually come and join us tonight. And he's going to be talking about Figma Weave, which is a platform that Figma acquired around this time last year, I think, more or less. And it's a very different way to look at AI workflows. I think it's very exciting. It's very, you'll see, very useful for, I would say, visual workflows, visual design workflows. And we will be having announcements on how this integrates with Figma at Config. So I'm not going to say any spoiler, but yes, very excited to have, I think, your first intervention in Paris at the Figma event ever, pretty much, tonight. So yeah, passing on.
And now we'll start with our last sponsor, which will also be the first talk of the evening, which is sponsoring and talk by Mathieu Boulet from Jitter.
So yeah, I'll get more time to talk about Jitter during the presentation. But very quickly, so we are a motion design tool on the web. We are based in Paris. This is our office. I mean, let's talk about the office quickly, because this is also why we are here today. We opened this office back in September, and this is already the fifth event that we are doing in 2026. And so the idea is really for this place to live as a hub for the creative community here in Paris, but also welcome international folks, and yeah, do this kind of gathering, meetups. So this is really something that is important for us. And yeah, so obviously this is why we are sponsors with Mobbin and Figma. And again, I'll get to talk a bit more about the product during the presentation. Very happy to be the first to speak and to open the meetup. So my name is Mathieu. I'm a founding designer at Jitter. And the first question that we like to ask at our events is, who is familiar with Jitter already? Yes, okay, cool. Fair amount. So I'll keep it short. But essentially, Jitter is a motion design tool that is super easy to use. We're really here to make motion accessible to every creative, every designer, but also every team who needs to animate their brand, their content as fast as possible and at scale. And so if you were wondering what is the life of a designer designing for other designers, this is essentially it. It's amazing. We are all in the same boat. We're a community. We gather at events like tonight. And again, as a designer myself, I can definitely relate to the same pains and frustrations. So it's very cool. But there is a but. Working on a creative tool for a creative agent also has some downsides. And one of them is that our backlog is infinite. Like, we basically have a huge product debt. And the reason is very simple. Obviously, it's that designers always want more creative capabilities, more effect, more flexibilities, and just ways to express themselves and bring their ideas to life, which I absolutely understand. But the problem is that at Jitter, we are still a relatively small team. And no matter how fast we move, there will always be something missing. And we will always be catching up on the latest trend or latest technology. And yes, this is me here, pushing the team and the product. So that's why we asked ourselves, well, what if teams did not have to wait for us to ship every feature they need? And what if with all the AI capabilities that we're seeing online at the moment, we could just let our users build whatever feature and whatever tool they need. And so here is a quick video that explains how we came to our next chapter, which is Jitter AI. And hopefully the sound.
Welcome to Jitter AI. You got an idea but can't find the right tool to bring it to life? Like a beautiful fluted glass effect? A fluid transition for your next ad? Don't wait. Build the tools you need. Jitter AI turns your ideas into working creative tools, no coding required, just describe what you need. And watch Jitter build it in real time. Refine controls through simple chat instructions, then use them to animate anything you want. With Jitter AI, creative possibilities become endless. Generate shaders, color keying, 3D rotation, grids and repeaters, cinematic video effects, stunning kinetic typography, all directly inside Jitter. Now share them with your team so everyone can remix, build on, and create unique, on-brand animated assets in minutes. Now available for free at jitter.video.
Cool. Thanks. And so yes, disclaimer, that video was entirely made in Jitter using Jitter AI, of course. So you get the idea, it's very simple. We want you to build your own creative tools. And again, it only takes 3 easy steps. So first, you describe what you want to create with your own words. Second, we generate a new working tool on the fly just for you, so you can bring your idea to life. And then it's your turn, you just animate using that new custom tool. So let me show you. And we'll start here with a simple card that we want to animate. And yes, like you've been asking, we want to make the card flip, which is not a native feature in Jitter. So here is the prompt, super easy. So I'll just copy it and then move on to Jitter. So now I'm in Jitter, and I'm going to open the chat panel here, where I can simply paste the prompt I just copied, and which is asking the Jitter agent to add 3D controls over X, Y, and Z. So here we just wait. Yeah, this is real time, so didn't cut the video. I think it's already done. And so now I can basically start animating. So we'll do a 360 rotation here with the controls that I have now on the right. Yeah, that's it, and it works. Of course, I can tweak all the parameters, like the easing, going maybe from a linear to a smooth. And again, that's it. It just works out of the box, and you literally got a brand new tool in under 30 seconds. And you don't stop there. So from now, you can also customize it even more and tune up the details. So the card flipping is nice, but the front and the back are the same. So I'd like to change that and have 2 different sides. So here, I'm just going to ask the same. I want to ask the agent to add these 2 toggles where I can either show the front or the back. So same, we wait. It's fairly quick. Here it is. You can see here on the right. And so what I'm going to do now is simply, so I have my face B, so the backside that is ready in the layer list. I'm just going to reuse what I have, paste it on the back, and then from there it's going to be the exact same animation applied to both, and I can just toggle off the front or the back. It just works. I don't have to reanimate anything. It just, yeah, it's instant. And then from here, so one more thing that is really cool is that you don't need to rebuild your tools every time you need them. So once you have them ready, you can simply reuse them across all your files and all your projects. So here is an example. I have this new artboard on the right with a very simple plain text, but I can really do the same. Simply copy paste what I have in my timeline, paste it, paste it on the text. Same, it just works. I don't have to reanimate anything. Obviously, I can tweak the parameters a bit. Like here, I got the perspective. If I want a slightly wider focal length, for example. So it's a bit more cinematic. And of course, I kept the same for the demo, but I could go wild and animate all the other axes, the angle. So it's really, yeah, you can do whatever you want from now. And so what is important to remember here, again, is that I'm describing the tool I need and not the final video. And that means the output stays editable, reusable, and shareable. And that's the first takeaway of the presentation, is that designers need control, not magic. They cannot change. So we don't want a black box. And that's literally, this feature, it's all about, like, it's a black box, but you can reveal all the layers. And yeah, so it doesn't generate a one-off effect. It's really creating reusable tools inside the editor you already use. All right, so let's take it up a notch with a second example. And so for this one, I wanted to imagine we are working on a new branding project or campaign, and here I decided to reuse the Paris Design Meetup event to imagine what its communication could look like. So we know it's an AI-focused event, so the visual direction should feel techie, digital, and so it's very basic, but I thought that what if the whole visual language could be driven with the idea of pixels. And so from this concept of pixels, I started using Jitter AI to explore all the different ways that could bring to life this pixelated pattern. And so here I can generate animated backgrounds that I can then reuse and customize across every campaign asset, like here, so for the RSVP post, which is really cool. I can also explore different, kinetic typography treatments that I can reuse again and again. So here I can simply change the copy once my effect is ready, and the animation stays intact. I can create visual patterns that are built around pixelated image transitions. Like here, for example, to announce the speakers. Also very cool. I can generate a dithering shader. This is very trendy at the moment, or it was maybe a few weeks ago, with a duotone on top to really also customize each asset so it feels unique. And again, I have the control on all the parameters here. I can also design screen transitions based on pixel grids for super cool reveals like this, and so on and so on. And so here you can really see the campaign is starting to become alive, and it feels unique and it feels consistent. This is what this really shows it does, is that Jitter AI can really elevate every touch point of a visual campaign. And again, the beauty of it is that the result feels both unique and consistent, exactly because everything you built is reusable. So after saying this, this is my question to you. Do you think AI will replace designer or empower them? This is the question. And for us, obviously, at Jitter, it really comes down to how we choose to build with AI. And this is exactly the kind of feature that excites us the most, and the kind of feature we want to keep building. Because, yeah, we are very optimistic. We have a very optimistic vision of AI. Again, not as a way to replace creativity, but really as a way to give designers more freedom, more creative range, and new ways to bring your ideas to life. And so, yeah, we hope it inspires you as well. All right, so yeah, please, if you have a chance, give it a try and let us know your feedback. It's always very precious. So Jitter AI is available to everyone for free. You just need to sign up, and then you'll be able to redeem your free AI credits, and then you can start playing from there. Obviously, if you need more credits, you can to keep playing. You can upgrade. This is a discount code to use at the checkout. And yeah, that's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Mathieu. Amazing presentation.
It was wonderful, Mathieu. Thanks a lot for the presentation. Yep. I'm just curious because you said that you can just ask for any features, yep, and then you can reuse it. Yep. Is there something to save the feature that you just create and share it to anyone else, any other users of the Jitter tool? Yeah, very good question. So this is the next milestone. This is what we are working on at the moment. It's team libraries. So really the ability to save any effect that you create, but also your easings, your color. What we know from team libraries from Figma. Yeah, it's coming to Jitter this summer. So now you can reuse them by copy pasting. But yeah, you have to. Yeah, it's a bit manual. But yeah, that's the goal, to be able to save them at your workspace level, so then everyone in your team and in that workspace can just reuse them. Thank you. For free.
Are you planning on adding like a feature that makes you like feed the AI with existing video? Like I want this type of effect, and you put video in. And
yeah, we just got a prototype today, I think. Okay. Where so not videos, but images at least, which is super helpful. This is a feedback we got from the first users, is that sometimes it can be hard to prompt. One tip is that you can ask Claude or ChatGPT to write the prompt for you, that then you feed, and then you don't use our credits. But yeah, that's coming natively in the feature, so you can upload. The first milestone will be an image, static, but then of course a video will be the end goal. Yeah.
Are you planning to add like a feature where we can like upload an Excel sheet and feed like hundreds of information to create like hundreds of videos?
Sorry, can you repeat?
Like let's say I have an Excel sheet like with hundreds of data.
Yeah.
I'm uploading to the Jitter video, and I already have a effect in place. Yep. I just want to replace some text like from the Excel sheet, like hundreds of videos, like exporting like hundreds of videos from one effect.
So your question is, you can import videos?
Like it's more like pulling the data from the Excel sheet, like the text information, okay, and replacing the text in the video. Yes. And exporting 100 videos, like.
Yes.
Yeah. Are you planning to add that?
So yeah, you have the batch export where you can export hundreds of videos.
Okay.
Robbie is as an answer.
So yes, we're about to release batch creation. You can drop a CSV onto an artboard in Jitter with all of your layers named and all of the replacements that you have, and from one asset you can then generate like hundreds of variants just with a CSV, and then we're going to open that to our MCP server as well, so that you can pilot that from Claude directly.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So yeah. Yeah, this is what I meant when we're talking about producing content at scale. This is really the use case. So like Robbie said, you import CSV files to really create at scale, and then batch export to export at scale. Yeah.
Maybe I have one more question.
Yes, no, of course.
Why did you choose to create a terminal or something like a chatbot agent, or just not creating a MCP server?
We have both. So
sorry?
We have both. So
okay.
There's also a MCP server that is going to be released soon. It's just that this is more integrated in the product.
Yeah.
And so it works with everything that is already in Jitter. So the timeline, the easing, all the presets. So it just it's convenient if you already use the tool, because you can reuse what you already built. Which is maybe the difference with the MCP, but you can.
Okay.
That will be the. Yeah.
Thank you.
Cool. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Mathieu.
Thanks.
We will welcome Célia Lopez. She will talk about human brain and AI, and she works at Off-Brand as a 3D designer. Her work is amazing. If you don't know Célia, you should check out her work. So welcome on stage, Célia.
Thank you. I'm so happy to be here. Hello, Paris Design Meetup. I hope you are doing well, my friends. Can I call you my friends? Yes. Ah, great. I can say my mom, I have 100 new friends now tonight. Before to start, I want to thank a lot Luca for the invitation. And also I want to thank a lot Jitter for welcoming us once again in this, amazing loft, you know. Who am I? My name is Célia Lopez, and I love telling stories. And when I say telling stories, is through immersive websites. Called 3D for WebGL. And tonight I'm going to talk about 3D for WebGL, but I'm going to also talk about AI. And the funny story is that I'm not at all an expert in AI. And you should ask yourself, why she's here? No, so yeah, I'm asking myself too. The story is that Luca proposed me, thought it was great to have people that is going to speak for 3D for WebGL. So he proposed me, I said yes. And then he said to me, oh, by the way, Célia, the topic of tonight is going to be AI. Do you use AI in your workflow? And I was like, nope. But I'm learning actually with testing workflows, and he was and he goes, okay, perfect. So you can share your learnings and share your test, and let's see. So that's why here I am. I'm going to talk about 4 use of AI I had with my agency Off-Brand. So Off-Brand is the agency I'm working with for a year and a half now. and I love them. If they watch the replay, I'm going to give them a heart. So I'm going to explain 2 examples for the first website we have done. And it was our first collaboration, so it was a year and a half or so. And it was Ether 1. So Ether 1 is not really a product to sell. It was more about showing off a bit, you know, because we wanted to all the people see how good we were at WebGL, how good we were at storytelling, and also how advanced we were because we were using AI. And it's true that during this process, we use twice AI. So I guess we all use AI for mood boarding, and we use AI for mood boarding. And I have a learning from this. I mean, from especially this. Because, so I asked Ross Anderson, the co-founder of Brand, to give me back his history of prompting. And he sent me this from the mood board we had. And it's true that the sentence is very short. And actually, you can, with this sentence, at this date, 2025, we can have like, if we were asking, give me earbuds with wireframe and with a cool environment, we could have a 4 months old fetus listening to music. And this is not really accurate. So I learned that for mood boarding, we need to talk the same language that the AI we are talking to. So for example, here we were talking with Midjourney, and Midjourney is talking the Midjourney language. So we have to talk about the same language as Midjourney. So I've learned that. But we end up like having, getting inspired by these brand new 2 tips earbud. But we also had to recreate this from scratch in Cinema 4D, so the tool I'm using for creating the model and the lighting and everything, so that it would be optimized for WebGL, it would be great for the process for our use. But it's true that we have been inspired by something completely not accurate, I would say. So the first learning was speak the same language than your AI. The second use we had was for actually the experience, so to extend the user experience. And when I say extending the user experience, I mean like we use for personalize a bit more the experience. And we connected the chatbot with ChatGPT 4 APIs, and that gave us like the freedom so the user could ask a question and have a more personalized use of our website. And I think this is the future. I mean, we just had like the proof that Jitter created a tool that you can use and co-create with them to have the tool of your dream, just by prompting something. And I think it's going to be the same for the future of website, you know. We are going to be co-founder of, co-creator, not co-founder, co-creator of the website of the future. And every people is going to have a very personalized experience of his website. So I'm not going to have the same experience. So this little dot is showcasing the experience. So if I choose the middle one, then I will choose the first one, etc. And my journey is going to be this one, but maybe the journey of Anaïs is going to be completely different. The journey of Miguel is going to be completely different. And I think for me, it's the future of website. I'm not really talking about 3D, sorry, but I was thinking that it was great to explain that, because if we are using it for normal website, we are also going to use it for immersive websites. Then the third example, the third use we had of AI was for Viscom. So Viscom is an AI tool actually. So it allows the user to go from a sketch to a 3D realistic rendering in a snap of a finger. And we wanted to showcase how fast it was. So we wanted, the designer, it was Brian James at this moment, had this powerful concept to go from the sketch to the 3D rendering in the screen to directly like an inception of the scene. And to showcase that to the client, we needed like visuals. So we used the other designer, which is called Stu Smith. If he watched the replay, he used Nano Banana and Midjourney to have these images. And then he asked me, Célia, can you reproduce exactly the same images you have created with our AI tool? Can you recreate it exactly similar, but with the Cinema 4D, the tool I use for creating the WebGL workflow? So I said, yes, I can try. But in my head, it was like, I'm not going to be 100% accurate. And like, I thank him for I mean, he trusts me to be able to be very, very, very similar, but I couldn't. And why we couldn't use this image from AI, it was because, I'm going to show you, it was because it was not very accurate. And since it was a tool that sells AI products and AI workflow, we needed like to make the user dream a bit. So if we use this first AI reference with the def and everything, we cut all the machines, and so we use them for the def. It wasn't possible to have like to change the little finitions, the little detail of all the machine and everything. So we needed to recreate it in 3D. And during the process, it took a bit long because Stu Smith was, you have to copy the light, you have to be perfect for the light. And I was like, okay. And so it took a long time. So Adrien, while we were exploring the workflows, Adrien Gubrica, the developer, the creative developer of Brand, tried to maybe use only the AI, but we have seen that it's not enough accurate. Then we tried with the WebGL 100%. And as you can see, it's not like, even myself, I prefer like this render at first glance. But with the second, we were like, maybe it's going to be like the workflow we used to have, and it's going to be better, and we have more control. And so if the clients decide to change one machine, we are going to be able to change that. But they were like, maybe we can try also to just have the background and to use the background and the car in AI, and then use the desktop and the machine in 3D. So we tried everything, and at the end we chose only the 3D for WebGL. So we only decided to choose the WebGL workflow because we were thinking we have 3 scenes. And if we want to be consistent and harmonious between the 3 scenes and have control of everything, we need to have control. And to have control, we still need to be with 3D. But, so this learning was, we tried, we lost a bit of time, but at least we tried. And this is, for me, the most important, to try new workflow, because maybe this could work, this could have worked. And then the last use of AI we had was for the third scene. If you remember, it was for the fashion industry scenes. And this time, the client of Brand created the jacket. And he absolutely wanted the jacket to be in the third scene. So I was like, okay, I'm going to copy exactly the same jacket, and maybe I'm going to lose a bit of time. Or I was thinking that maybe I could use an AI tool to help me to speed up my workflow. And that's why I tried the Tencent HI, but there is also a Magicc AI. There are also other tools, but this one is free. And even when you download the GLB, it's free. So that's why I have chosen this one. So it's very easy. You just have to have your correct image, drag and drop it to your website, choose how many number of polygons you want. The lower is 50K, so it's a lot for WebGL, but it's still lower than 1,000,005 stuff. And actually, I have the 3D directly, like in 1 minute, I would say. But it looks amazing. It looks great. But there is a little problem. Actually, the one on top is the one with the AI tool. And it's very messy, the UV are very messy, so the texture is very messy, but it took me 1 minute. And the second one took me more than 3 hours, but I just wanted to flex a bit, so I did 3 hours. And actually, we have not a perfect retopology, but lower number. We have not a perfect UVs, but better UVs, and a better texture too. So, and you can see I put like the two examples side by side, and you can see how similar they are. And maybe it's like the cool workflow to have, a good workflow to have, sorry. And Luca asked me to be a bit technical during my talk, so sorry for the one I'm going to lose, but I'm going to be a bit technical. And all the people that are strong and very focused, let's start the tutorial. So first, you have, so to go from the very complex but 1 minute jacket to a better jacket, I would say, you have first to retopology. Retopology is reducing the number of polygons, make it better, make it looks more clean. Then you have to, with this new jacket, the new jacket still have the messy UVs. So you have to create another UVs and to clean up these UVs. And then you have to transfer the messy UVs to the cleaner UVs. And then, thanks to that, you can transfer the messy texture to the cleaner texture. And then you have your clean jacket and your clean texture. Are you still here? OK, great, because I have also the tutorial. So we have to retopology. Retopology is in 2 steps. First, you have to use the quad mesher. I mean, you don't have to. I use that. Then I use my pen and patience to retopology, because the tool that is directly inside the blender are not perfect, and you can see that the loop cuts are very like a mess, so it was complicated. But what you have to do is to remove all the polygon you don't need, and we don't need the inner polygon, so you have to take a bit your patience and to remove all the polygon. So then I speed up a bit, and then you have, in 1 second, the result. Ta-da! Result. And it's not finished, like you have seen, we are at step 1. Second step is to, you have your messy UVs, and you have to create a new UVs, and you have to clean these UVs. So you can try with the smart UV project. It's already a tool directly in Blender to try to do your magic, but it's not that good. Like for me, it wasn't good enough. So you have to use another stuff, and it's called the seams. And actually, it's like the seam you have on your T-shirt. If you remove your seam and you unwrap your manche, a leaf, I think, then you have a clean unwrap. So this is what you have to do, and also it takes a bit of time. Then you have your clean UVs, and remember you have also your other bad UVs, messy UVs. And then you have to transfer your messy UVs to your clean UVs. I mean this. Go from this to this. And for that, it's also complicated. You have to select the clean, just transfer mesh data UVs and follow my tutorial after. And you will have this transfer. And once you have the result, you will have the 2 UVs, the clean one and the messy one. Yeah. And then you have to, thanks to this 2 texture, you can bake the clean texture, you can bake from the messy texture the clean texture. I mean that. And then you have, that. Then you have your result. So you have your clean jacket with your clean UVs, and so you have your clean texture. Great. Did I use that for my workflow? Nope. Not really, because at first I didn't knew this workflow. So this is why I told you like you have to test and to explore new workflow, because there is no like books that say to you and explain everything to you. So you have to test, and I test afterward. And also because what I tried here is to pick my messy texture and to double click on like some island of the messy texture and remove the ones that weren't visible from my camera point of view. And at the end, I went with 10K polygons. That it's not good, but not that bad. So I just give that to the developer, and he say, okay, I'm going to take that. And then he do his magic with the shader, with the lighting and everything, and it's better. So, my conclusion. I think AI is promising, but you have to remember that you have to keep testing, keep exploring new workflow, because nothing is really written for now. It's a new world we are enter, and so you have to test everything. Thank you. You can follow me on Instagram if you want to snap, or you can follow me also on Twitter. And
thank you, Célia. And for the last talk, we will welcome Köhler, that works at Figma with, and will talk about workflow building is the new literacy.
Cool. So hello everybody, my name is Kim, and I have the same job as Alexia, but specifically for Figma Weave. And I do want to start by saying I think you built a really good complementary round of speeches here tonight. We got two platforms that are really complementary to each other, and we have a power user who is literally who we are building these platforms for. So I think it's a really cool combination of talks. What we're doing at Figma is we're really building a really nice bundle of tools right now. You know, you have Figma Design, and you have a FigJam, and now you have a Figma Make and Figma Weave. And Figma Weave, where I specifically work, is a node-based platform for using multiple AI models together to create good results for visual production. And super short about me, so I worked for 10 years in the creative technology industry. I've been working as a creative coder and creative director at Meta and The Mill and places like that. I always have a tendency to lean towards procedural design. And historically, the way I've been achieving that has always been with code. I'm really bad with the physical brush, but I'm really good with code. So code has really been my brush. And about a year ago, AI really became well enough so that I could use AI as a new brush. So on the right side of the screen, you can see purely AI-generated designs that before I had to use code and very advanced VFX techniques to achieve. Specifically what this talk is about, I'm going to show you the platform, but also the topic of it is that creative workflows is the new literacy. And I'm going to show you guys what that means to us. So currently, we live in a very, very fast-paced era with pretty much everything we do is here and now. People want images, they want it here and now, videos, here and now. And all these different platforms and products that comes out, they really promise us that you can get anything you want right now if you use their platform. And it's not really true, to be honest. It's fast, but it's also exhausting for designers, and it's confusing. And it doesn't get you everything you want, but it is impossible to deny that some sort of change is happening. Personally, I really hate the word revolution about AI, but I do think we have to realize that that is what it is. And as soon as there's a new revolution, it always comes with a bunch of changes in the expertise of designers. The same is true for the printing or photography or mobile or the internet. It always comes with a bunch of changes to the expertise of the designer. And I think that this is going to be true for this era as well. We really believe that this expertise is going to be workflow building. Workflow building is really how you are going to be able to build better tools, and you can be able to build a better design a lot faster. So what is a node-based system? A node-based system looks like this. You have a bunch of boxes that you tie together using small little wires. And this can look a bit scary, right? Historically, these kind of node-based environments has been very connected with coding, if statements and switch statements and things like that. And it can look a little bit scary, but usually it's a very fast learning process for designers. And the reason for that is that there's no coding involved here. All these nodes, they're just text nodes, image nodes, video nodes, and text, video, and images is very natural to designers. So it's a pretty fast learning curve. What you then also have is that you have a bunch of 3D tools and manual editing tools, and we believe that the way you can really weave or glue all these AI models together to make them more powerful is with manual editing tools. So in this example, you see that we have a little text prompt that is connecting to an image prompt, and then it's connecting to a video prompt. So I'm going to show you a couple of examples, and there's really 3 pillars to our platform. The first pillar is that we have pretty much all the AI models in one platform with one subscription. This is really helpful because you don't have to have 10 different subscriptions, download it from one website and upload it to the next one. Usually how I start all my workflows, no matter how experienced I get, is that I take my input, which could be text, like in this case, or it could be an image or video, and I attach it to 10 of my favorite image models. And the reason I do this is because all these models are really good at niche categories of work. Some of them lean towards certain styles a little bit better than others, and some of them vibe with your prompt depending on how you write them a little bit differently. There's also a very fast changing world, so there might be a new model out since my last campaign, so I really just want to dip my toes and see which models performs the best. And then once I have something I like, I do exactly the same thing for video models, and here we're doing just a silly prompt where we're asking it to add an octopus alien to it. But it's a really good habit to do in the beginning because it's super messy out there with all the models. It's hard to know all of them. So what I do in the beginning of every project, I do this habit. I want to see which ones vibes with the prompt that I'm writing, and then I pick maybe 3 or 4 of them to keep working on down the road. So this is the first pillar. You know, we have all the models in one platform. The second pillar, which I think is more interesting to all you designers, is the question about control. I was really frustrated in the beginning of this AI era because I went from having all the control using Illustrator and Blender and Cinema and all these nice softwares that we saw in your presentation to having no control at all using AI models. I would ask it for something and it had all the control in the world. It looked kind of cool, but I lost in control. And the most important skill of a designer is the taste and the control. Like, I don't see a place where a designer would just make a generation and be happy with it. We're all going to be very opinionated designers, so we always want to make changes. At Figma, we believe we're in a really good phase and that the models are good enough for us to take this control back over the models while still utilizing the power of them. One such example. So I have 2 images, a pigeon and some traffic lights. And a lot of people ask me, why don't, let's say that I want to put this pigeon on these traffic lights. You could of course just prompt it, which is what people think you do when you work with AI. So you know, they go to a platform and they write the best prompt they can. This is like, I really worked on this prompt. I really tried to make it work. And I added my 2 images, and then it's gonna put the little pigeon on the traffic lights, but this is not the way I wanted it. I didn't want this little cartoon pigeon on this traffic lights. So what I'm going to show you is how you can build a workflow and gain the control where you are still in control of it. And this is what a little workflow looks like in Figma Weave. So over here, you can see that I started by generating some traffic lights on the top left, and just below it, I also generated a 2-dimensional pigeon. And I did a couple of variations of this pigeon. Let's see, it's coming here. We did a couple of 2D pigeons. Once I have this pigeon, I add them to 3 nano banana nodes, and I ask for a right shot, a left shot, and a back shot. This is really good, because in the next step, I'm going to add all these to a 3D model, like Meshy, like you were using, for example. We have a bunch of different 3D models. And what they all do is that they generate a 3-dimensional mesh from 2D images. In Figma Weave, you can move them around directly, and you can choose the angle and position, which are deterministic things that we as designers like. We can choose where to place this pigeon, right? Once I have this, you can download it and bring it into Blender and back in, but I mostly use it for control. So I add it to the compositor node, which is kind of like a Figma design light. And you can see when I move it on the left side, it moves in real time on the right side, which makes it super handy for tweaking in the perfect camera angle and position of my little birdie, instead of asking it to move like 20% to the right. In the compositor, the Figma design light, you can layer things around, you can do different kind of transformations. So it's kind of like a very light version of Figma design. You can move it, and I can do different kind of transformation of this little birdie here. I can change the size, I can move it around and transform it. So you're taking back the control using manual editing tools. And you can also use things like different kind of blend modes and things like that. Here we go. Once you have this image, what I then do is that I take this juxtaposition of this ugly bird here, and I add it to an image model. And you can see that the image model, Flux Pro, does a really good job of following the position and structure of my image, but it's going to make that 3D bird look way more and unified with the rest of the image than my ugly 3D bird. Once you have a juxtaposition you like, now that you have the control, I added it to a video model and told it to just fly away. So this is a very quick little workflow, how you as a designer can take your control back using a variety of different tools. It's not just Nano Banana, and it's not just VO, it's a very specified combination of tools, and this is how you build these kind of workflows that you can use. So very excited about this kind of control getting back to the designers overall. So this is really the difference. The difference is between prompting and crafting. People say like, oh, you're a prompt engineer and prompting is the future. We don't think so. Prompting is just a tiny little tool. We believe that building workflows is the future. Here's another example of this. So I wanted to build this specific video of like half lion, half zebra running, and with this specific text. And I was showing this example in a bunch of onboardings that I do with clients, and they always ask the same thing, like, why don't you just prompt it? And that's exactly what we just showed you. So I'm gonna dive really even more into depth on this, and I'm gonna try to really prompt this example. So in this example, I wrote a really in-depth prompt of like half lion, half zebra with the text. And you can see how horrible the results are if you're just prompting them. Like, what is going on with them? And like, I tried it again, I refined the prompt, I went back, and like, it's giving me like half lion, half zebra, but the results are just really, really disappointing. And like, I really tried for this. And this is the last example where I tried it one more time, and it's getting there, but you can see like the zebra is like on the lion as well, and like I didn't want that. That's part of the AI that I don't want, and no designers would want that kind of stuff. So instead, yeah, you can see how horrible the text is. Stop charging yourself. Horrible. So instead, I built a quick little workflow for this. So in this workflow, I started by prompting this zebra on this savanna. Once I have the zebra, I am using that zebra to create a video. So I take the zebra and I ask it to move using a video model. In a different path, I use the zebra to guide an image model. So you can see that the lion that I create is based on the zebra's placement. You can see that the footwork is the same kind of position, because the zebra is actually driving the lion, but I'm prompting it to change it to a lion in the savannah. So now I have a video of a running zebra and I have an image of a lion. So the next step is to create a video of the lion that is being driven by the zebra. You can see it's exactly the same timing of the feet, but now it's a lion instead. And then I added to my manual tools. So here we got 2 crop nodes, classical design tools. I added to a levels node, and then we add them all together to the Figma Design Light compositor that also takes text inputs. And here I could place it perfectly so that the lion lines up perfectly with the zebra, and I get this text. So this is a much more powerful pipeline than using just a prompt. And this is why we really believe that workflows is the future. So this is the final result of that one. Something that I'm really like is where you can blend the old design pipeline, and when I say old, I mean After Effects and Blender and all our manual tools that we all love. So I still use them a lot to guide models. So I did this super simple After Effects animation, and then I dropped it into Figma Weave. And what I do here is that I take this video and I'm going to extract a frame from it. I then found this cool house on Pinterest, and I added it, both of them, to a model called Mystic that has a control image and a style image. You can see that it does a really good job of adding the structure of it to the style of it. And then at the end, you can see that once I add my driving animation together with my styled image, I get a really good 3-dimensional AI layer that is being driven exactly by my After Effects animation. So I'm still in control, but I'm speeding up my pipeline so much faster. And all I need to do is change out this other image, and you can get hundreds of different styles of this animation. So this is how I think a lot of motion artists are going to work, combining the old pipeline with the new one. So those are the first 2 pillars. It's that we have pretty much all the models in one platform. The second one is to gain back the control using different manual editing tools. And the last part is to build workflows for automation and scale. One such example is this camera angles machine that I built here. I talk to designers all the time, and I try to be really clear on this. I think it's really important that you guys do the fun parts about creativity yourselves, but there are more tedious parts about creativity. And that's where I ask help from the AIs. One such example is, I love art directing scenes. So I art directed a scene of this man with a pink teddy bear in the desert. What I don't think is fun, creativity, is coming up with different camera angles. So what I did is that I built a machine that then comes up with a bunch of different camera angles specifically for that photo. And you can, I really like this high angle one, or that it shows to zoom in on the teddy bear, who's like a bi-figure of the scene. I thought it was pretty cool. And you can really scale this. You can do hundreds of images, and you can use it for presentations or conceptualization, or I often use it for a video technique called first frame, last frame generation, where I interpolate between 2 of these frames, for example. And then once you build this machine once, you can use this machine over and over and over again. So if you just change out the initial image to a skating lady, you'll get a bunch of other angles of her skating through the city with the same machine. A very popular kind of use case for this is used to change aspect ratios. It's very powerful, change any aspect. You have an image and you need a new aspect ratio. You add whatever aspect ratio you want, really. Not any, but a lot of different aspect ratios. And the AI is so smart that it can really come up with a bunch of different outpaintings for weird aspect ratios using outpainting. And this is also a really good short little system for how you can use this. The last workflow I'm going to show you is creating scale with iterators. What an iterator is a batch operator. It means that you can use one node to use hundreds of images or videos or text and run it through a long workflow with just one click. So what I do in this workflow is, in the beginning, I create a prompt, and this is a very specific prompt. By the way, I mostly write my prompts with GPTs, so I take help from GPTs to write these long prompts. And I'm going very much into details of what I wanted to do. I wanted to change out the specific product, and to not change out the product, but change out the logo, things like that. And I really go into details of everything I wanted to do and everything I don't want it to do. And then I have a logo input, my primary color, my secondary colors, and then we have these iterators with 6 different swag products that we uploaded. And now we're going to recreate all these swag products using the colors and the logo types. So once I press run on the iterator, it's going to analyze all these products and it's going to kick them out one by one with just one click. So here we have all the different products with new colors and new logo types. This is all cool. This is probably a lot for a lot of people who haven't seen nodes before. What is so nice is that once you have learned nodes like this, the problem still exists that you still might have a client or a colleague who have no idea how this works. What you then can do is that you can take this advanced system that you built and you can send this advanced system as a very simplified version using something called app mode. So I'll take this workflow and then I press app on the top and it's going to create a simplified app where your client or your colleague don't have to see a single node, but everything that you built is happening on the backend. This person can then change out the different colors. I changed it to your little poster here. And then I press run from here, and all the results are going to show up here. We haven't seen a single node, and I can download them all from here. And it's a very good way of collaborating between you and clients and colleagues. So here we get a little all these different kind of swags. And that is really the last workflow I'm going to show you. But I do want to also end off by saying, like, there's a lot of change coming, and I know that there's a lot of fear. We work with AI, and there are a lot of questions about whether it's going to completely take our jobs. I know there's a lot of fear about that. But the question is craft disappearing? I don't think so. I don't think it's disappearing at all. And we're living in an era where the expertise of creators are changing a lot. And this is where the world of creative workflows really come in. To be part of this revolution, at Figma, we believe it's going to be integral for our creators to understand this kind of creative process of building workflows. We do believe that there's a lot of things that are going to change, but we don't think that designers are going to be replaced. We think that you are going to become better to produce more and be able to do things that you could not do before. The most important skill of the designer is the taste, and that is even more important now than it was before. So really what we're trying to do here is that we're trying to build a platform to make you guys even more powerful designers, not to be replaced. So learn this sort of craft of building workflows. It's not always the most glamorous, it's not very easy, but it is a skill that will continue to give you the control, and it will be able to, it will be essential for working faster and producing more. So building workflows is really becoming this new expertise of this new era. That is pretty much the end. At the last slide, there's a QR code here. If you scan it, you'll get access to all the workflows that I showed you guys today. So if you want to play around with them, there's links to all of that. Figma Weave, you can't use Figma Weave on your phone. It's a computer only. But you get the links there, send it to your computer, and then you can play around with it on your computer. And that's really it. But I'm super happy to take questions.
Thank you, Kim. Really amazing, and that gives us idea for next swag for the Paris Design Meetup, so thank you. It's amazing. So does anyone have a question or more?
Thank you. I have one question. I've been using Weavy previously, quite a lot. There is a question. You have 400,000 credits on your...
I have unlimited.
Which is really cool. I don't have a lot. So it might be a little bit frustrating if I have to test a lot of things. How do you manage to make a user not really frustrated by the way they have quite 400 credits, 1,000, when they will use all of their credits? How will they manage to work efficiently?
My personal answer to this is that it's very logical, this whole credit system that we're using on all the platforms. Personally, and this has nothing to do with Figma's vision or anything like that, I think that is eventually going to change. I think that credits is kind of the antithesis to creativity. Like as creators and designers, we have to have the possibility to create over and over again and not think about economy every time we run a new iteration. So I don't see a future where all these platforms are always going to be credit-based. I think that is going to change eventually. But that's just my personal take on it. What you can do now to manage credits is that there's so many different prices for different models. The first thing is to work as much as you can in the image phase before moving into video, because images is so much cheaper than producing videos. So that is really the best way. And then it comes back to this, like building a workflow. Once you have built a workflow, you're probably going to spend a lot of credits building that workflow and make sure like this tiny detail works and that works, and that's going to take some credits for you. But once you build this system, it's going to be more rigid, and you're going to be able to know how much credits it's going to cost, and you can use it and save money for the next project and the next campaign and things like that. Obviously, it can be annoying as designers. In the future, I see it changing, but there are tiny details here and things you can do to manage it. Yeah.
Is it possible in Figma Weave to start with a prompt and to tell Figma Weave, can you iterate on that prompt, like on the text, and try different things on the text? Since, for example, like if you are not really good at prompting, or you don't want to spend the time fine-tuning the prompt in GPT or Claude, can you create a node that iterates on the prompt, for example?
Yes. Yeah. We have a node called a prompt enhancer that you can attach it to any of your text, and it's going to do its best to develop it further. And you can tell it if you want 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 sentences. It's up to you, right? So yeah, there's a node like that. I rarely write prompt myself anymore. I use GPTs inside Figma Weave to write me a prompt that is then going to be used for an image model. So yes, try the prompt enhancer.
Yeah, and just a quick question on that. Can you tell specifically Figma Weave to iterate on specific parts of the prompt, for example?
Specific parts? Yeah, so you could break it apart using different kind of text nodes. Okay. We are probably, out of all the competitors, the one where we really sticks out is our text tools. Our text tools are really good, so you can break up a bunch of different text into different subpaths, do some edits to it, and merge it back together, and you can keep refining on your workflow for sure.
Okay, thanks.
Of course.
I was wondering, because this presentation is very branding focused, video, visual in general, and I was wondering, especially maybe to make the loop with like other things we discussed tonight, could you take something like a MCP from Mobbin and generate like variants of different workflows for maybe something like product design? And I'm trying to understand the limitation and what kind of integration you could use directly with Weave.
So I don't know exactly what the exports from Mobbin and things like that looks like, but generally, so the first step is we are building an API. Our API is not done quite yet, but it should be done fairly soon. Once that API is done, Figma Weave is going to be a much more flexible platform in the term of building, automation networks or building some sort of plugin or a combination with other platforms and things like that. So we are excited about that kind of work. Right now, without the API, it's kind of like you kind of localize to working with Figma. What we are working on also as well in tandem with the API is that we're really aiming for the perfect integration between Figma Design and Figma Weave. I'm not allowed to say what that looks like, but we're really excited. We're aiming for like a perfect integration between these platforms. And we're really excited about this bundle of tools. And not to forget, like Figma Design we all know about, and I'm talking about Figma Weave here, but not to forget about Figma Make, that is also a really awesome product. You'll get more information at config.
Cool, thank you.
Working on workflows is really smart. Thank you for the demo. Will there be a community page? So right now on Figma, the community can share their own Figma Design, Figma Make, but for Figma Weave, would I be able to share to the community the workflow I've done for a specific use case, and that this person would be able to use it on his own or her own?
Yes, we already have. So if you go to Figma, the community page, if you do /weave, there's a specific part with a bunch of community workflows that people have uploaded. That's like the first draft, but we are going to continue working on it so that everybody can keep uploading their own workflows and get it out to the public.
Okay.
So we're the community page. So the main Figma community page already has Weave workflows.
All right. Thank you.
Yes. On top of that, the Figma Weave Discord channel is really, really popping. We have like 30,000 members on the Discord channel, and people are like really sharing their workflows and helping each other out. It's really fun to see. So the Discord channel is really good for that kind of work. And also because we do 2 live sessions every week, where me and maybe Alexia and some of my colleagues go live for an hour. I show a workflow that I built the last week, and then we leave around 40 minutes at the end for everybody to ask questions. People come up, share their screen of their workflows, and we troubleshoot it. We try to stress test the platform, and it's generally a really fun way to learn, and also a good way to get quick help. So there's that as well.